Recall. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. What means this, a time and times and the dividing of time? What means to wear out the saints? The second of these questions is easily answered. I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints, and prevailed against them. A time, times, and half a time. Daniel 7:25. The little horn of Daniel 7 is perhaps the sea beast of Revelation 13. Our first source for a definition of what the a time, times, and half a time is. And he, the little horn, having the eyes of a man and a mouth, verse 8, shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. Daniel 7:25. And there was given unto him, the sea beast, a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name, and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. Revelation 13:5-7. The little horn has a mouth that speaks great words or things. But the sea beast also has a mouth speaking great things. The little horn wears out or makes war with the saints. See also Daniel 7:21. But the sea beast also makes war with the saints. The little horn wars against the saints for a period of time. A time and times and the dividing of time. But the sea beast also wars against the saints for a period of time, 42 months. The little horn and the sea beast do appear to be the same entity. So, definition 1. A time, times, and the dividing of time equals 42 months. The woman of Revelation 12. Our second source for a definition of what the a time, times, and half a time is. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days. Revelation 12:6. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent. Revelation 12:14. Verse 6 mentions a woman, but verse 14 also mentions a woman. She of verse 6 goes into the wilderness, but she of verse 14 also goes into the wilderness. She of verse 6 hath a place, but she of verse 14 also has her place. She of verse 6, they feed her there, but she of verse 14 also there she is nourished. She of verse 6 is fed there for a period of time, 1,260 days. But she of verse 14 is also fed there for a period of time, a time and times and half a time. It seems obvious that these 2 women are the same woman. So, definition 2, a time, times, and half a time equals 1,260 days. Given, A time times and half a time equals 3.5 years, or times, with 1 year equaling 12 months, equals 42 months, with 1 month equaling 30 days, equals 1260 days. Is a biblical month really 30 days? Where does this come from? The 30-day month in the Bible. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened. Genesis 7:11. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. Genesis 7:24. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained, and the waters returned from off the earth continually. And after the end of the 150 days, the waters were abated. And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat. Genesis 8:2-4. Note: all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month. And the fountains of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month. That is, the start and the end of the flood are exactly 5 months apart. But the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days, and after the end of the 150 days the waters were abated. 5 months equals 150 days, or 1 month equals 30 days. Returning back to the a time, times, and half a time of Daniel 7:25, is prophetic time literal time? Symbolic or prophetic time? But as for you, the Israelites, your carcasses, they shall fall in this wilderness, and your children shall wander in the wilderness 40 years, and bear your whoredoms, until your carcasses be wasted in the wilderness. After the number of the days in which ye searched the land, even 40 days, each day for a year, shall ye bear your iniquities, even 40 years, and ye shall know my breach of promise. Numbers 14:32-34. Lie thou also upon thy left side, and lay the iniquity of the house of Israel upon it. According to the number of the days that thou shalt lie upon it, thou shalt bear their iniquity. For I have laid upon thee the years of their iniquity, according to the number of the days, 390 days. So shalt thou bear the iniquity of the house of Israel. And when thou hast accomplished them, lie again on thy right side, and thou shalt bear the iniquity of the house of Judah 40 days. I have appointed thee each day for a year. Ezekiel 4:4-6. Each day for a year. The principle that these two texts teach is: 1 day in prophecy equals 1 literal year. In summary then, a time and times and the dividing of time is 3.5 prophetic years, or 42 prophetic months, or 1260 prophetic days, where 1 prophetic day is 1 literal year. Thus, the a time and times and the dividing of time of Daniel 7:25 is 1260 literal years.